Hi, I'm Eric Swain. I am co-founder and CEO of Respondology. We are a comment moderation platform, which means we remove comments, abusive, hateful, brand attacks, slanderous, bots, and spam from social media for our big brand clients. And we do it in less than a second, and we do it discreetly and 24/7, 365. And we're going to show you how that works. We're going to do a live demo and make some comments and watch them disappear in all the fashions I just outlined. But first, what I thought I'd do is frame up the problem. What is happening in social media? I'm guessing most of you feel the pain, see the comments that are really attacking your brand, hurting your sales, hurting your reputation. But we have some data behind it we can share because as a company, we see this across 250 brands around the world. We've been doing this for over 3 years. So hopefully we have a little bit of data and perspective to share before we get into what is the solution. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and share my screen, and we're going to go ahead and look at a couple slides we built to share a little bit of what is going on with toxicity in social media. And we really call this the perfect storm. And here's why we call it the perfect storm. You've got a trifecta of variables out there in social marketing that are coming together. And the first is there is a surge of toxicity, abuse on social media. And to be clear, we're not talking about negative comments. We're talking about useless, ugly, tasteless comments that have no value and no purpose in the social stream. And these are on the rise, undoubtedly. The second variable is the tolerance for this kind of abuse is going down. Now, I'd hope as humans, we all are a little less tolerant these days of hate in our culture. But as business leaders, and when it's in our digital presence, it becomes a business problem, not just a human, a personal problem. And we see this tolerance is going down quickly. And the third variable is the money, your investments, the marketing dollars going into social media are skyrocketing. And if you put these three things together, it is a perfect storm. It is a problem. It is a problem for companies that we work with and brands around the world, whether you're PepsiCo, a D2C company, a sports team or league, you name it. If you have any material presence in social media, you are probably experiencing a little bit of these problems. Let's take a look at some data behind them. So it's on the rise, but how big is the problem of all this ugliness in our social comments? What you see here is an increase in the abusive comments, racism, homophobia, attacks on a brand that are ugly and tasteless, a 284% increase last year over the prior year. That is across 4 continents and over 200 clients on our platform. So it's a pretty good view. On top of the ugliness, you've got the not beloved, invasive, and ubiquitous spam and bots. I think this is something that we hear from our clients every single day. Several of our NFL teams, several of our consumer brands say it has essentially rendered their social stream useless because there's 2 to 3 times as many bot and spam comments as there are actually real comments, if not 5 to 1. And that just starts to clutter up your social stream, and it becomes a little bit futile for what you're trying to do. So the problem is on the rise. You probably don't even need to see this data if you are a marketer and you're in tune with your social media. But this is a quantification of the problem. And sadly, I think as we enter a presidential cycle, we can probably assume this is only going to go up, like built-in demand for the next 24 months. So the problem's on the rise. The tolerance is going down. Now, tolerance is a hard thing to quantify. We have a lot of stats on that here at Respondology, but one of them is that 47% of people, consumers, believe that comments associated with advertising are an indication of that brand's values. That's a pretty scary proposition that anyone out there, billions of people on the internet, on social, can make a comment that's slanderous, useless, off target about your brand, and it might be believed or associated with your brand while you're out there trying to build your brand equity, build your sales, create demand for your products and services. This is working directly against that investment. And just a quick call out, when you do run ads on Instagram, on TikTok, on Facebook, you name it, those ads do get comments. And this is the advertising we're talking about, paid social, comments off ads running across social platforms. So the tolerance is going down, and there's many ways to quantify that. Then is the money going into the space, and outside of goofy PowerPoint creatives, here's some really interesting data from Statista, which is last year, they haven't finished their numbers yet, but they forecasted 177 billion, not million, but billion, running globally through paid social around the world, with a forecast for this year of 225 billion. Just to give that a scale barometer, Google search is somewhere in the 250 billion for this year in its forecast. So essentially, social media is becoming as big of a marketing channel as search is for the average brand out there, which means it's critical. It's where I think as some of our clients tell us, they say, look, this is where I grow my brand. This is where I sell my product. I simply cannot have it hijacked by toxicity, by spam and bots. And this is the issue. If you put these three things together, you've got this hate on the rise, the tolerance is decreasing, yet the money is pouring into the space. That creates a perfect storm. That creates a need for a solution. You simply can't have this. And I'm imagining if you're out there and you run a brand, you probably know this, you're probably feeling this. And this is just a little bit of data to quantify what you experience every day. Okay, so that's the problem. How did we get here, right? I mean, you have these social platforms, they have big engineering teams. Why are they not solving the problem? Well, there's a couple of reasons. The first is the philosophy from Mark Zuckerberg down of how they view their platforms. They are not publishers, they are platforms. They connect humans, and what humans say and do, they are trying to have a hands-off approach on. Now, when the PR gets really hot on them, they take minimal action to get themselves out of the press. But the philosophy of TikTok, we talk to them at high levels, of YouTube, of Meta, you name it, is that they do not want to own this problem. They want to focus on growing their user base and engagement with that user base. And they've got enough problems of their own to solve on those fronts in a highly competitive environment, which is why another variable of how we got here, they built APIs, they being Meta, they being YouTube, they being TikTok and Twitter, that allow third-party companies like ourselves, Respondology, to plug into these APIs, these technical connections to their platform, so that we can moderate comments. So essentially, if you want to take Facebook as an example, they've said, look, we don't want to own this problem. Philosophically, we don't believe we should own this problem. So we've created these APIs to let any company in the world come and solve the problem. And not just solve the problem for the whole platform, but solve the problem for their particular client. What I mean by that is if Respondology works with GoPro, we can moderate in a customized fashion for GoPro exactly how they want. Different from our client, the Denver Broncos. They can have a whole different line of moderation of what they consider acceptable and what they don't. So the fact that there's these APIs allowing companies like us to solve the problem is actually beneficial to the brands out there because they get to control what is moderated and what is not versus Mark Zuckerberg and team deciding that for you. The third is a legal one. There's Section 230 of Communication Decency Act, and I think many of us have read about this recently, but in simplicity, this protects the social platforms from being legally accountable for the content that is on their platform. So not only philosophically do they believe they don't need to own it, legally they don't need to own it. This is how we got here. This is not thesis. We at Respondology, I personally talk to senior people at Facebook, at Instagram, at TikTok, and this is exactly what they say. They say, look, we want companies like you to solve this. That's why we have these technical connections. So we know this is factual, the approach to the Facebooks of the world. They're not going to solve it for you. You need somebody to solve it for you and with you as a partner. So what is that solution? Well, technology in simplicity, right? It's 2023. We have the technology to protect your brand and social media exactly as you want in real time. And there's lots of technology companies out there, but we happen to be what we consider the market leading company. We started this in the US. We were the first in the market here. And we have a product that we call the Mod, short for the moderator. And I think this is where we get out of Slideville. And we're actually going to show you the Mod. We're going to make some comments, and we're going to show you how they go away immediately. So I'm going to stop the share here on the PowerPoint, and we are going to reset our sharing. And we're going to go ahead and look at a browser window. You're going to see me at first, but then we're going to pop in right here, and you should see this big troll whacker face or troll face with the handle troll whacker. This is Respondology's demo account. This is where we show the world how we do what we do. It's not our real account, but for demo purposes, it'll certainly suffice. Now, in this case, I need a troll. And so I am going to bring in a colleague. David here is going to come into the camera, and he is going to operate as our resident troll today. David, you're a super nice guy, but today you can't be, okay? Today you have to be a troll. So what I'd like you to do is I'm going to ask you to find Trollwhacker on your phone on Instagram.
Okay, got it.
Okay. And I'm going to ask you to make a couple comments. Now, our system works so fast. We remove things in less than 300 milliseconds. I'm going to try and time with David as he makes his comment, refreshing the page to capture it before our technology removes it. It may take 1 or 2 tries, given the speed of our platform. But let's first make one comment. And for the crowd out there, we are not going to use a comment that we tend to remove. They're very ugly. There's no need for that. But we're going to keep it PG-13. And we're going to just try and, if you're okay with it, everybody out there, just with the word shit, which will represent a very abusive comment, attacking the brand, attacking the human, something really ugly. So let me know the moment you have posted that, and we'll see if we can't capture it.
All right, and post.
All right, I'm going to refresh. Let's see if we get it on the first try. There it is. All right, so you are, hey, David Ochoa. That's you. All right, so there is your word. Not that toxic of a word, but again, for demo purposes, let's keep it, fairly lightweight. So that is representing an abusive term. Maybe somebody is absolutely attacking your brand with slander, and things that you wouldn't allow in your brick and mortar store is the same thing you're not going to allow in your digital store, your social channel. Now we have the 500% increase in abuse of bots and spam. So let's go ahead and just throw a spam word out there. DM me, maybe.
Sure.
That's a classic one.
All right, and post.
All right, I'm going to refresh, and we're going to see if we can't capture the DM me, and the other one's going to be gone. There you go. So there is the spam representative comment from David. DM me. Bitcoin, DM, porn, illegal TV streaming links, competitive conquesting links. You guys probably all experience them, but this will represent for demo purposes. You'll notice that the abusive term, SHIT, is gone. It was actually gone in 300 milliseconds or less. Just for demo purposes, I was chatting. Let's go into, well, actually, first what I'm going to do is I'm going to refresh again, and we'll get rid of that spam. Okay, there we go. Let's go into our tool now, the mod. Let's look behind the curtain and find out how these things went away and why. So I'm going to go into the mod now. I'm going to go into our reporting. I'm going to refresh. And we're in today's calendar, and there it is. So you can see David was trying to beat the system for a while here, and he wasn't able to do it. We're capturing it all. But let's start with the abusive term, shit. Again, excuse my profanity. It was moderated on Instagram. That's what this icon means. OR stands for organic. This is an organic post versus an influencer or paid media. We remove ads on all those paid ads as mentioned. It was removed at this particular timestamp. I happen to be in Boulder, Colorado at this timestamp due to severe swearing and automatically. Auto, that is an indication that our technology grabbed it. You can also see here the DM me also removed within half a second from being posted due to being spam, and it's gone. Let's take a look at our moderations dashboard and see why. So in these logical buckets are over 30,000 keywords, phrases, and emojis that are in these logical buckets. And we put them in these buckets because it's not Respondology deciding what to moderate for you. It is, we're providing you and your social team or your social person a tool to customize exactly what they want to moderate and exactly what they don't want to moderate. You have the keys to the kingdom. This is a tool that will 24/7, 365 allow you to do whatever you need to control in your social stream. Let's just take a look at how you customize that. First and foremost, you can just toggle off any bucket here, and the terms and the phrases and the emojis in that bucket will no longer be filtered out of your comment stream. Pretty easy. 90% of our clients turn off the mild swearing because it's not that toxic, but it's a good bucket to show you what's going on because it's not too ugly to look at. You can open up any bucket and you can customize what is in that bucket. So in this case, why don't we just say crap and damn just aren't that bad. Silly examples, but you get the idea of the customization, and we'll recheck those, but you can edit what's in these buckets at any time and control. That's the second way you can customize it. The third is a custom bucket where you can open it up and you can enter any phrase that is not in that 30,000 plus keyword phrase set that might be unique to you. The reason why we have this is brands usually have their own unique challenges, maybe a PR issue, maybe something about a particular product name. In this case, and anybody out there, Nike listening, this is just a silly example, but if I type in Nike, any comment with that term now will be filtered out. Again, we would never do that. Silly example. Important to note, you don't have to upload any terms or phrases or emojis. We have all of them in here for you already. It starts moderating within 1 second of launching. It takes about 5 or 10 minutes to launch. So you can launch this, customize it as you want, almost like a pilot, plug and play, set and forget, and you are no longer having an issue in your comment stream. Side note, but for those of you operating outside of English, this is in 23 languages. So I can, let's just say, select Japanese. If we're to open up again our mild swearing bucket, you will see all these comments and their Japanese equivalent. Also important to note, this isn't just translated from English. We worked with a linguistic company that inserted thousands of phrases in any one of the 23 languages that do not translate into English, that are cultural references native to only their tongue. So it's more sophisticated than simply translating from English, but you have 23 languages there protecting you at all times. I'm going to go back to my English here, and there is your dashboard of over 30,000 keywords, phrases, and emojis. We do have some artificial intelligence, some AI in the background, so this is always learning, leveraging that AI that we all read about, but it's very important to know that you are still in control. The AI will take cues from how you set up this dashboard here. So the AI doesn't take over, it doesn't moderate what it wants, it moderates what you tell it to with this dashboard. A couple other nice add-ons that our clients like a lot. You can check this box and say, I would like to hide anybody that, any handle out there that we hide. If we hide them 4 times, 3 times, 2 times, whatever number you're comfortable with, it is going to remove that person. It's kind of like a 3 strikes and you're out rule. Very good for the bots, very good for the people that always come in and just attack your brand, your service, and have nothing to add, well beyond negativity. You can check this box and hide comments that are 280 plus characters, all comments that are this long or longer. The reason here is, again, it's optional, is most comments, if they're 280 plus characters, they're cultural or political diatribe. They're just invading your social stream. We actually built this during the last presidential cycle election, and it's going to happen again, where people are going to drop into your social stream and they are going to put War and Peace commentary in there about their political or cultural opinion. If you do not want that invading your social stream, it's going to be gone. Here's a fan favorite among our client base out there, hiding comments containing links. So if you're a consumer brand, those conquesting links that are siphoning off your traffic for a knockoff product, as an example, all the Bitcoin or betting links. If you're in the sports community, we work with a lot of NFL teams, NBA teams, etc. Those illegal TV streaming links, but links of all kind generally are not very good in your comment stream. 9 out of 10 times they're doing something nefarious. If you don't want links in your stream, they will be gone. Here's a new addition, but highly effective, albeit simple. If you check this box, you will remove any comment, any type of comment within the number of seconds you choose from the time in which you post. So if I'm GoPro and I post photo of the day and I have this set at 8 seconds, the system will remove any comment made within those first 8 seconds from that photo of the day posting. The reason is humans don't comment that fast. You know who does? Bots. So we've had clients call us and say, look, the first 50 comments in my social stream are just all bots. A lot of times they can look innocuous, but when you click on them, they're actually going to soft porn or other scams. They're gone, right? That problem will go away immediately. So this is our technology filtering dashboard. This works in less than 300 milliseconds, 24/7, 365. A good side note, 60% of the comments we hide are after 10 o'clock and before 6 a.m. So if you're having staff try and remove these comments, 1, that's not a great use of their time. 2, they're not going to be doing it at 2 in the morning where the mod will be. All right, so now if we come back to our troll whacker here, these comments are gone. Hopefully you've had some great positive comments or even negative ones, but not toxic. Yet, David, as our troll here, do you still see your comments?
Yeah, totally. We're all still there.
Okay, so very important to note, this is how the tool is intently built. The troll who made these comments and his or her followers still see their comment. They are completely unaware that the world never saw it, your consumers never saw it, your executives never saw it, your true fans never saw it. They are truly shouting into a void, unaware that the world didn't see these comments. It must be that way to be discreet. If a troll were to see that their comment was removed, it's going to inflame the situation. You're going to have a bigger problem on your hands. So the fact that the troll continues to see their comment, but it never really existed in the world, is a very nice feature and very important feature to make this work. So this is the mod. This is how it works. Thank you, David. I appreciate it. You're a much nicer guy than your commentary. This is how the mod works. I'm going to go ahead and stop sharing now and come back into our video. I hope that demo was helpful. We also, by the way, use humans to capture what the software cannot. We have over 1,000 humans, native English speaking, in the United States using an app we've built, highly trained. They are there to capture as a safety net, if you will. It's just the things that get by software. But in spirit of time for demo today, we'll skip that step. And it is important to note that 90% plus of what we filter out, what we hide, is done by our technology, which again, you are totally in control of. 10 minutes to set up, and there you go. You've eradicated a problem. You saved your team some time. And beyond sleeping better, beyond protecting your brand, beyond saving your team time, we have data in A/B tests that shows that your social sale KPIs will go up. So as an example, we've had many clients run 2 parallel ad campaigns on Facebook or Instagram or TikTok, one with moderation, one without moderation, exact same creatives at the same time to the same target audience. And we have data coming back to us such as a 34% increase in return on ad spend on the campaign that used moderation, or a 27% decrease in cost per acquisition on the campaign that used moderation. Lots of stats like these, lots of case studies. We're happy to share them. So in the end of the day, you're going to save your team time. You're going to protect your brand. You're going to improve your sales. I can almost guarantee it. You can actually test. And if we don't get a 2x ROI on this platform, we won't charge you for the test. And as our clients like to tell us, you'll probably sleep better. So that is the Respondology, which is powered by the mod. That is the demo. And that is the problem that we all collectively have to solve and regain control of our social media presences out there. Thanks so much.